I first came across the name of Guo Shoujing on my visit to Beijing just over a year ago. Many historians regard him as the most prominent Chinese astronomer, engineer, and mathematician of all time. I'm wandering today in the area around Dushengmen, looking for a museum, which I never do find, when my eyes fall on a local map. Right near the top of the Zishihai Lakes, which is where I am, is marked the site of Huitong Temple. Now, it turns out this entire area was demolished in the 1970s for the construction of Subway Line 2, and once the works had been completed, it was decided in 1988 to rebuild the area, amounting to some 11,000 square meters, as a memorial to Guo Shoujing, who lived from 1231 to 1314 during the Yuan dynasty. He was an inventor, as well as a mathematician and astronomer, and applied his engineering skills to improve many of the instruments used to measure celestial bodies. About 27 major observatories were built during the Yuan dynasty, many designed by him. But Guo Shoujing also used his engineering skills on other projects, such as Kunming Lake, which later became the site of the Summer Palace and was designed both as a reservoir for the city and as part of a system of canals for transportation in the region. Perhaps his greatest contribution was the development of the Shou calendar system in 1280, for which he used polynomial equations to the fourth order, the highest level equations ever used in astronomy and calendar calculation. The year was calculated to be 365.2425 days. But none of this is much in evidence in the street along which I am walking. The first thing I notice is a sign to his memorial, and intrigued, I enter the complex. In 1251, aged 20, Guo became a hydraulic engineer, and as a government official he helped repair a bridge over the Daguoquan River. In the late 1250s, Kublai Khan became the ruler of most of China, which was under Mongol rule in those days. Kublai Khan realized the importance of hydraulic engineering, irrigation, and water transport, which he believed could help alleviate uprisings within the empire, and he sent Liu Bingzhong and his student Guo to look at these aspects in the area between Dadu, now called Beijing, and the Yellow River. To provide Dadu with a new supply of water, Guo had a 30-kilometer channel built to bring water from the Baifu Spring in Shunshan Mountain to Dadu, which required connecting the water supply across different river basins and canals, with sluices to control the water levels. The Grand Canal, which linked the river systems of the Yangtze, the Huai, and the Huan since the early 7th century, was repaired and extended to Dadu in 1292-3. After the success of the project, Kublai Khan sent Guo off to manage similar projects in other parts of the empire, and this led him to becoming the chief advisor on hydraulics, mathematics, and astronomy for Kublai Khan. It turns out Guo Shoujing was a major influence in the development of science in China. Through his work in astronomy, he was able to more accurately establish the location of celestial bodies and the angles of the sun relative to Earth. He invented a tool which could be used as an astrological compass, helping people find north using the stars instead of magnets. On top of one of the hills here is an ancestral temple, and engraved at the north side of it is an article entitled "The Annals of the Rebuilding of the Ancestral Temple of Harmony and Circulation," written by Wu Liangyong. Not that any visitor gives it the slightest bit of notice, at least not this afternoon. There's also a pavilion behind the ancestral temple. A stele inscribed with poems by Emperor Qianlong is set inside it. The poem tablet was erected when Huitong Temple was rebuilt in 1761 and measures 2.43 meters high. It has a square pedestal and a Kuei dragon design on its top. Just beyond the pavilion is an armillary sphere used to measure the equatorial and horizontal coordinates of celestial objects without interference with one another. Guo has been credited with inventing the gnomon, the square table, the abridged or simplified armilla, and a water-powered armillary sphere called a linglong yi. A gnomon is used to measure the angle of the sun and determine the seasons, and is the basis of the sundial. But Guo Shoujing revised this device to become much more accurate and improve their ability to tell time more precisely. The square table was used to measure the azimuth of celestial bodies by the equal altitude method, and could also be used as a protractor. Right at the top of the hillock, above the astronomical instruments, is the museum dedicated to Guo's work on water projects. Two bored-looking guards glower at visitors, as if they resent the fact that without these visitors they would be out of a job. I'm given a badge as I enter. For what, I haven't the faintest idea. I suspect it's making work for the sake of it, since no one is in the slightest bit interested in whether I wear it or stuff it in my pocket, which is what I end up doing. In the courtyard is a statue of Mr. Guo. I just love the turned-up shoes he's wearing. I'll bet he never bought those off Taobao. The Memorial Museum actually has 3 halls, displaying the achievements of Guo with a heavy emphasis on water conservancy during the Yuan dynasty. To be perfectly honest, this must rank as one of the most boring of Beijing's 150-plus museums. Maybe that's because everything is written in Chinese and nothing is put into English at all. In fact, Laowais tend not to be seen here, but maybe that's a chicken and egg situation. The main room has an exhibit of Guo Shoujing and Dadu water resources. Guo, after all, went around half of China and harnessed over 100 rivers and lakes, and he played a leading role in Dadu's water supplies, taking charge of the development of the Baifu-Yan and Huaihe rivers to provide water to the city of Dadu. There are a few pictures stashed up on the walls, and a few splurges of explanatory text, and there are even some enlargements of stamps that our beloved hero appeared on. But boredom soon sets in, and with tears in my eyes at the very thought of having to leave this water-world paradise, I hand back my pass to the security guard, who gives me not even a second glance, and I exit to the real world once more and a view of the Sichuhai lakes. And probably the most impressive sight of this Guo Memorial Park is what Mother Nature herself provides, this being the last week in March. Who needs to explore museums when you have displays like this all around you?